This is the 2012 season recap. Coach Cat Lennon and the Memphis Tigers have just completed what is being considered the greatest season in program history. A true worst to first story in this season. Memphis had finished dead last in the Conference USA East Division the previous 3 seasons, winning only a total of 5 games in the previous 3 seasons combined. But Memphis put together an absolute Cinderella run through the regular season, winning the Conference USA East Division for the first time ever, going to their first ever Conference USA championship game. They were able to win an all-time classic game against the favored Houston Cougars to become Conference USA champions for the first time in program history, winning 10 games for the first time since the 1930s. An absolute dream come true of a season for Memphis. It seemed like an impossible dream at the beginning of the year, but we were able to find a way in absolute dramatic and epic fashion, putting together this incredible season. Let's recap that amazing 2012 season here for Memphis. Let's go. We're not predicted to have much more success than we had the previous 3 seasons. Coach Cat Lennon, in his first year at head coach, started things off with an absolute epic game here. Week 1 on the road, taking on our rival Ole Miss. Ole Miss had a winning streak against us. We were hoping to take them down and end that streak, and we did an absolute epic game here to begin things. Ole Miss got out to a real hot start in this one. Looked like they may be poised to blow us out in front of their home fans. They were up 10-0 after 1. First points was Hoffman hitting Simpson for a 40-yard touchdown pass. They made it 17-0 in the second quarter. We were able to get on the board first. Charles Massey hitting a 41-yard field goal that made it 17-3. Big time touchdown here late in the first half. Preston Schuler hitting Ray Sullivan for a 58-yard touchdown. First touchdown of the season for us. That cut it down to just a 7-point deficit going into halftime. In the third quarter, we were able to tie things up. Walter Hansen came in at QB and hit Caleb Petty for a 15-yard touchdown pass, made it 17-17. But Ole Miss responded, scoring the next 14 points. They had themselves a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. But we never backed down, never gave up. We just did what we need to do to hang in this game. Schuler hitting Ellis cut it back down to 7 points. But Ole Miss able to make it 14 points again. And we were able to cut it back to 7 points. This was a big field goal here from Ole Miss. Diggs hitting it from 47 yards out, made it a 2-possession game getting late in the fourth quarter. We were able to get a really quick response, so Schuler hitting DeAndre Collins for a 77-yard touchdown pass. We were able to get the onside kick and then put together this incredible drive here. On 4th and long, Schuler hitting Ellis for a 42-yard absolute stunner, giving us the 45-41 lead. We were able to hold on for an absolute epic comeback, an epic way to start this season. Big time rivalry win on the road here against Ole Miss, put us to 1-0. That was only one of a couple games played week 1. Had a bye week 2 and most of the nation got started. Week 3 we were at home against Arkansas State, a team that had destroyed Memphis previous season, as did a lot of the teams on our schedule. This was another great football game here. First home game of the Cat Lennon era. Real battle this was. Got up to a 3-0 start after 1. Massey hitting a field goal. Arkansas State grabbed the lead early second quarter. A long touchdown run from Jackson. We were able to regain the lead. Schuler hitting Sampson for a 15-yard touchdown pass. But Arkansas State responded. Herring hitting Williams. 14-10 Arkansas State at halftime. Had to settle for 3 points here, cut it to a 1-point game. Big touchdown pass getting later in the third quarter, then a 2-point conversion put us up by 7. Huge touchdown here in the fourth quarter. Cecil Tate punching in from 4 yards out made it a 14-point game. Arkansas State able to get into the end zone. Attempted an onside kick, but we were able to recover to seal the deal and a 28-21 victory Huge win for us at home to put us out to a 2-0 start, already matching the highest win total of the previous 3 seasons. Big win for us at home. Then we were on the road against the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia, one of the top teams in the nation. We just clearly outmatched in this one, but we showed a lot of heart, a lot of determination in this one. Got off to a really rough start. Georgia just taking it to us from the beginning. First touchdown, Ross to Hall, 27-yard touchdown pass. Ross another touchdown pass here. Then a pick six, just like that. It was 21-0 in the first quarter. Able to get on the board here. Schuler hitting Cox for a 13-yard touchdown pass, 21-7 at the end of the first quarter. But then Georgia just kept taking it to us. Jackson a touchdown run, Ross a touchdown pass. That made it 35-7. But we showed resiliency. We showed we were not going to give up. Schuler hitting Ellis. Got ourselves another touchdown. Here's a field goal from Georgia that made it 38-14 at halftime. They just continued dominating in the third quarter. Another pick six. This one, Woods taking it back. In the fourth quarter, we were able to get a couple touchdowns here. Hanson hitting Sullivan. Schuler was a bit banged up in this one. And then the final points of the game, Hanson hitting Ellis. That made it 52-28. We continued fighting the whole way through, able to put up 28 points against the Bulldogs, but Georgia cruising in this one. Really a no contest. Our first loss of the season. Still showing a lot of heart in this one. Proud of our effort there. Then we were at home, last non-conference game of the season against South Florida, taking on the Bulls. This was a low-scoring game of the season. South Florida got on the board first with a 34-yard field goal from Slaughter. Another one here in the second quarter from Slaughter. But that was the only point South Florida was able to get. Late in the second quarter, Preston Schuler hitting Ray Sullivan for a 6-yard touchdown pass, gave us a 1-point lead at halftime. No scoring in the third quarter. Early fourth quarter, Cecil Tate punching it in. We decided to go for 2, try to make it a 9-point game, and we were successful. Made it 15-6. Our defense was able to get a big stand in the fourth quarter to seal the deal for us. A big win for us, pushed us to 3-1. Then we began conference play after the bye in week 6. We started off at home against Rice. This was a great football game to begin Conference USA play. On the board first here with a field goal, but then Rice scoring the next 17 points. Rice had a 17-3 lead at this point. Big touchdown run here from Cecil Tate, 23 yards out, cut it to a 17-10 game at halftime. Rice able to extend their lead in the third quarter. A big field goal, McCollum from 52 yards out. And then a touchdown pass, Babcock to Boyd. That made it a 17-point game getting late in the third quarter. We needed another huge comeback, and we were able to pull it off. Big touchdown pass here. Schuler to Collins made it a 10-point game entering the fourth quarter. Another big touchdown pass here. Schuler to Sullivan made it a 3-point game. We were able to grab the lead here. Dramatic fashion. Schuler hitting Caleb Petty. That put us up by 4 points, getting late in the game, getting very late. And then Andre Crawford sealing the deal with a pick six on Rice's ensuing possession. That made it 38-27, and that was the final score. An epic comeback victory once again, and a great way to start Conference USA play. Then we were on the road at ECU for our second conference game, and the ECU Pirates just took it to us. A ton of points in this one. ECU just right from the beginning taking it to us. They had a 28-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. Our first points came very late in the second quarter. Preston Schuler hitting Caleb Petty, 28-7 at halftime. We were able to cut it to a 13-point game with this touchdown and 2-point conversion. But ECU just always had an answer for us here in the second half. I pushed it back to a 2-touchdown game. Big punt return for a touchdown made it a 1-touchdown game. And 2-touchdown game going into the fourth quarter. 1-touchdown game, 2-touchdown game. Continued fighting back here. But just wasn't enough for us here. This is the closest we got here. Schuler hitting Ellis for this touchdown pass. It was the closest we were able to get this one, but we were not able to get the stop we needed. Daniels passing it to Rogers for a 40-yard touchdown pass. That was put them out in front by a couple scores again, and then not able to get things going on. Quickly, ECU got the football back and just sealed it with that run, and then the pick six to make it even worse. 69-43, the final score here. Nightmare of a game for our defense for sure, and a rough way to begin divisional play. That pushed us to 1-1 in conference play. Then we were at home against UCF. We knew this was going to be a huge challenge going into it. UCF was expected to be the East winner in this season. Them or Southern Miss was what is predicted. And this was a great football game. UCF got out to a 7-0 lead in the first, made it 14-0 in the second. Big touchdown late in the first half. Walter Hansen playing QB for us, hitting Putty Listen for a 15-yarder. We went for two and got it. That made it 14-8 at halftime. This field goal cut it to a 3-point game. We were not able to get the stop. UCF 51-yard run from Thompson made it a 10-point football game going into the fourth, needing another late comeback. What a fourth quarter it was. Hansen hitting Liston made it a 3-point game, and we were able to take the lead. Getting later in the fourth quarter, Hansen hitting Petty for a 9-yard touchdown pass. But UCF able to respond. 4-yard run from Thompson that put them in front, getting late in this one. But what an epic drive here. Hansen to Ellis, 15-yarder. That was the game winner with just seconds left. Able to win this one 32-28. An incredible comeback. We had a fourth down conversion to keep our hopes alive. UCF had many chances to put this one away, and they were not able to do it. A huge win for us here at home in the rain. Then on the road at SMU. SMU was undefeated entering this game. They had a high ranking. They were definitely the favorites in front of their home fans. And what a statement we made in this one, showing that we are for real. Never trailed in this game. First time all season we never trailed. Got in front here. Tate at 0 yard, just punching in from the goal line. SMU was able to respond with the touchdown pass. Allen having a great year for SMU. That 64-yard touchdown pass, Hansen to Sullivan. And then early in the second quarter, made it a 21-point game. Another long touchdown pass, Hansen to Sullivan. SMU stormed back. Touchdown pass from Allen to Henry and then to Tyler. Tied things up. Big touchdown here late in the first half. Dunn punching it in from the goal line. Put us out in front by a touchdown entering the second half. In the third quarter, we had our way big time. Hansen to Sullivan, 14 yards. And Dunn punching it in from the goal line once again. That put us out in front, 21 points entering the fourth quarter. Just stunning SMU in Dallas. They were able to get a touchdown here in the fourth, but it was not enough for them as we held on to a stunning upset, 42-28 victory. Huge win for us there. Then we were on the road at Marshall, and it did not go our way against the Thundering Herd. Back and forth here in the first quarter, a ton of points. Marshall scored first, but kept responding. Marshall had a 21-14 lead after one. They were able to extend it here in the second quarter with a field goal. At halftime, Marshall led 27-21. Trying to battle back, but once again, our defense just had no answer for Marshall. They kept scoring, kept pulling themselves out in front. Kept trying to find a way to battle back, but it all fell apart right here. After this great touchdown pass, Jason Lyles, not a lot of experience at QB for Memphis before this season, stepped in due to injuries and played great football for us, but it wasn't his fault we weren't able to get any stops. Goolsby, 48-yard run, then a 60-yard run, and then just sealing the deal here. Another touchdown pass, another field goal really late. Marshall, 62-38, the final score there as they dominated the fourth quarter. Our second conference loss, a tough one indeed. We lost control of the East Division at that point. Then looking to battle back against Tulane, we were at home, really depleted. Jason Lyles at QB, like I said, not of a lot of experience, and we certainly had a lot of struggles in this one. Tulane 14-0 after one. We made it 21-0 early second quarter. Our offense really didn't seem to have anything going. Big touchdown run here to get us on the board. Tate punching it in, made it 21-7. Let's just score at halftime. In the third quarter, in the shadow of our own goal line, Lyles throwing this one from inside the end zone. Somehow, some way, able to get it to Ray Sullivan, and he was able to break free for a 96-yard touchdown. Incredible play there. Then our defense making an incredible play here. Big hit, scoop, and score. Hobbs running it back from 57 yards. That tied things up at 21. A very, very tense rest of this football game. Great defenses, teams getting close to scoring, but no scoring until the very final play of the game. We were able to get into field goal range due to a successful fourth down play. Great pass there from Jason Lyles to set us up. And Charles Massey hitting the game winner, 33-yard field goal. Final play of the game to get us a 24-21 epic victory there. Definitely an epic football game here at home to keep our hopes alive in the East Division. Then we were on the road at UAB, still not controlling our own destiny. Big rivalry game here against UAB. This was a great football game, a very competitive, hard-fought game. 7-7 after one. We took a 3-point lead. UAB took a 4-point lead. We were able to take the lead here. Big mistake by UAB late in the first half. We were able to capitalize on it. That gave us a 23-16 lead at halftime. Able to extend that here in the third quarter with a Thurl Bennett 9-yard touchdown run. UAB kept trying to battle back here, got within a touchdown. Able to make it 2 touchdowns here in the fourth. UAB pulling back within 7. This touchdown run made it 37-30. We were able to get the onside kick and seal the win in this rivalry game. Huge win for us here. Then after this game, right after the game ended, we all watched as a team together the UCF and Tulsa game, and much to our delight, we saw Tulsa coming back against UCF and taking them down. A huge win there for Tulsa and for us. That put us in control of the East Division, controlling our own destiny with just one game left to play, needing a win to win the East for the first time ever. And we were at home against the defending Conference USA champion Southern Miss Golden Eagles in this rivalry game. Chance in front of our home fans to punch our first ever ticket to the Conference USA championship game, and we took full advantage of it. This is a bit messed up here in terms of the recap here, but we had ourselves a 14-7 lead at the end of the first quarter. Able to extend it here. Lyles, our guy in this one, hitting Sullivan for an 8-yard touchdown pass. Then a huge play right here. Taekwon Humphrey with the pick 6, taking it back 26 yards. That gave us all the momentum. Southern Miss trying to battle back in this one. Got themselves a field goal, but a big touchdown here late in the first half. We had a 35-10 lead at the end of the first half. Very dominant performance. Southern Miss was able to get into the end zone in the fourth quarter, but we controlled the ball very well in the second half. And we were able to hold on for a convincing 35-17 victory. The most dominant win of the season in a huge spot. That clinched us the East Division, punched us a ticket to the Conference USA Championship for the first time ever. We were taking on the Houston Cougars. Houston, the favorites to win the Conference USA at the beginning of the season. They were in the title game last season and had a disappointing loss. They were looking to get revenge in the title game this year. An all-time classic game. It's being considered one of, if not the greatest Conference USA football game of all time. What a game this was. Able to get out first early here. Preston Schuler hitting DeAndre Collins, put us in front 7-0. Then Houston battling back, getting a field goal, taking the lead late in the first quarter, 10-7. Houston after one. Extended their lead in the second quarter, put them up by 10. A nice touchdown run here from Cecil Tate. Made it 17-14 Houston at halftime. In the third quarter, they started to pull away though. This made it a 10-point Houston lead. This made it a 13-point Houston lead. And this big pass here put Houston up by 20 points getting later in the third quarter. Looked like they may start to pull away and blow us out in this one, but we've showed heart all season long, and we showed heart in this one, fighting back. Schuler hitting Collins, cut it down to 13 points entering the fourth quarter. Big touchdown pass and 2-point conversion made it a 5-point game. Defense stepping up, getting a huge takeaway. Tate punching it in, getting us our first lead, putting us in front by 3 here. Houston was able to respond though. Sears hitting Rodriguez to give the Cougars a lead, getting late in the fourth quarter. Up by 4, we needed a touchdown drive, and we were able to put it together. Preston Schuler hitting Cedric Ellis for a 40-yard long touchdown pass. Gave us a 44-41 lead. Still lots of time left in this one, but our defense able to step up, get a huge takeaway with a fumble. We were able to run the clock out for an epic win here. Conference USA champions for the first time ever in dramatic fashion. Absolute dream come true, absolute party in Memphis. Dream come true, completing the Cinderella season as Conference USA champions here over Houston. Then we went to the Liberty Bowl, first time in our history. It was Louisville's 5th appearance in the Liberty Bowl. This game did not go the way we wanted it to, for sure. There's no scoring recap in this one, but Louisville, their first 2 offensive plays were long touchdown runs. They were just taking it to us from early. They were up 21-0 early second quarter. We lost Preston Schuler due to a shoulder injury that he'd been dealing with all year. Jason Lyles came in, tried his best, nothing to hang his head about, but things were just not going our way in this one. It was 24-8 at halftime. Tried our best to battle back in this one, but never really able to get super close. Able to make it a 10-point game getting late in the fourth, but that was as close as we were able to get. So Louisville wins the Liberty Bowl 34-24 the final. That ends the season a slightly sour note. Certainly did not take away from the incredible championship season that we had here. But yeah, slightly sour taste at the very end of it here. We will be playing Louisville next season, so we're scheduled to play them. So maybe a little bit extra motivation in the off season. We're gonna have that game circled for sure. It was a rivalry game as well. So congratulations to Louisville for winning that bowl, but congratulations for us for an amazing championship season. 10-4 overall record, Conference USA champs for the first time ever. Let's go. Now let's take a recap of the conference standings from around the nation. We will start here in the ACC, where the North Carolina Tar Heels become ACC champions. They took down NC State in the title game. Congratulations to North Carolina, great 13-1 year. Conference champions there in the ACC. Then the Big 12, great season from Texas. Undefeated, went to the national championship. We'll get to that in a bit. They finish as Big 12 champions. Great work there from Texas. In the Big East, great season from the Pitt Panthers. Went undefeated in conference play to become Big East champions, finishing with a 10-3 overall record. In the Big Ten, the conference championship went to the Michigan Wolverines. Great season there from Michigan. They ended up with a 10-4 record. Big Ten champs there, the Wolverines. And of course, already recapped here, the Conference USA champion is us, the Memphis Tigers, winning it for the first time ever. Congratulations to us, for sure. The Independents there. A lot of good seasons from independent teams. And then the MAC championship went to the Ohio Bobcats. Congratulations for Ohio winning their MAC championship for the first time in a long time. Congratulations there to the Bobcats. The Mountain West Conference championship went to the Boise State Broncos, becoming conference champions, finishing with a 9-4 record. Congratulations to Boise State. Not as great of a season as they've had in recent years, but still a very good season and a conference champion. The Pac-12 championship went to the USC Trojans. An incredible season from USC, one of the best in history, really. Just great 14-0 final, national champions, which we'll get to in a bit. Running the table here, they had a few close games, but for the most part, USC was quite dominant this year. Congratulations to them. The SEC ended up going to the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia becoming SEC champions, finishing with an 11-3 record. They did lose a few games down the stretch, which eliminated their chance at going to the national title. There were 2 undefeated teams in the national championship, so any loss pretty much eliminated them. But they were able to put things together after a rough end to the regular season to become SEC champions. Arkansas also a great season for them, Razorbacks. The Sun Belt went to FIU. Golden Panthers becoming Sun Belt champions, going undefeated through conference play, finishing with a 10-3 overall record. Congratulations to FIU. The WAC championship is won by the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Congratulations, Louisiana Tech, a 7-6 overall record, but 5-1 in conference play. Good enough to get them the conference championship. So that is a look at the conference standings and champions from all around the nation. Now we'll take a look at the final top 25 standings. I said, actually we'll take a look at the bowl games first, then we'll get to that in a second. Bowl results. Look from around the nation. Look at the bowls here. Tulsa finished a great end of their season, winning the New Orleans Bowl over FIU. Houston unable to bounce back, and the Beef Brady's Bowl losing to Florida by 10. Sour end to the season for Houston for sure. SMU able to get the win in the Hawaii Bowl over Utah State. Southern Miss losing pretty big in the Unforced Bowl to Nevada. Us taking a loss in the Liberty Bowl against Louisville. UCF losing a close one in the Ticket City Bowl to Nebraska, falling by 3 points there. In the story of UCF season, losing close games. The Rose Bowl went to Arkansas, 34-32. Great game there. Congratulations to Arkansas for a great season and a Rose Bowl victory. The Sugar Bowl went to Michigan State as they were able to take down Georgia, 28-21. Big win there for the Spartans to finish off the season. The Orange Bowl went to North Carolina, blowing out BYU in that one. Dominant performance and a great season from the Tar Heels. The Fiesta Bowl went to Oklahoma as they blew out Pitt, 49-17 there. Big win there for the Sooners to finish off the season. Still a great year from Pitt. And yes, the National Championship, a rematch from the 2005 season. It was a great game back then. Not as memorable this one as it would appear. USC got out in front this one early with a field goal. Texas was able to match it. That was the only points Texas was able to score. It was actually the second quarter. Only points Texas was able to get in this whole game. It was 3-3 at halftime. Low scoring game in the first half, but the second half, USC just taking it to them, getting in front. 10-3 there, making it 13-3, making it 16-3 early in the fourth, and then this one just completely sealed the deal. Moore hitting Lane for a 16-yard touchdown pass to make it 23-3, and that was the final score as the USC Trojans were able to convincingly win the BCS National Championship 23-3 over the Texas Longhorns, revenging that 2005 season national championship game. USC finishes a perfect 14-0 as national champions. Now we will take a look at the final top 25 standings. Of course, USC number 1 after a perfect season, running the table. Perfect 14-0. A lot of blowouts, a couple close games in Pac-12 action. Close one against Washington, and then a close one against Oregon. This was 2 undefeated teams. It was a huge game. Big game there for USC. Then some comfortable wins, blowing out Notre Dame to finish off the regular season, then blowing out Stanford in the Pac-12 championship. Not much more trouble against Texas there. Very dominant end to a very great season here for the USC Trojans as they become national champions. Congratulations to them. Number 2 in the national rankings to finish off the season was the Arkansas Razorbacks, who finished with a 12-1 record. Incredible season from Arkansas, putting up 78 points in their very first game. Taking down the defending national champion Alabama Crimson Tide, got off to a 5-0 start. Only loss coming by 4 points, close game on the road at Auburn. They were able to win the rest of their games quite convincingly. The only close one coming in the very final 2 games. That loss against Auburn kept them out of the SEC championship game, though. Nice win against LSU to finish off the regular season, and then a very great game in their bowl against Michigan. Great season there for the Arkansas Razorbacks, finishing number 2. Number 3, the Michigan State Spartans with a 9-3 record. They had an 11-game season. Were scheduled to play an FCS opponent. That game got canceled, so 11 games. Got up to a 3-0 start. They had a very tough schedule. A lot of ranked opponents in this one. Took a few losses here. Lost 3 of 4 at this mid-stretch in the season, but ended up winning their final 4 games of the regular season. Some big wins there. And then taking down Georgia in a major bowl game. Great season there from the Michigan State Spartans. They finished number 3 in the nation. Number 4, the Oklahoma Sooners. They finished with an 11-2 record. Not as many ranked opponents as Michigan State had. That's the reason, I guess. But they got off to a 3-2 start in the season, and they just started playing some amazing football, winning their final 8 football games, then blowing out Pitt in their bowl game. Great year from the Sooners. 5, the Texas Longhorns. Great season up until the very end here. Obviously going 12-0 in the regular season, becoming Big 12 champions. Huge win here against Oklahoma. Close game. Then taking on a Texas Tech team who was very dangerous. A couple closer than expected games to finish off the regular season, going to overtime against Iowa State and then against Kansas State. They were big underdogs in the national championship game, and that's the way it worked out, as they took a 20-point loss in the national title game to end their season with a bit of a sour note, but still a great year from Texas. Great year from North Carolina as well, 13-1. Only loss coming by 2 points, their very second game of the season on the road at Wake Forest. But then they ended up winning their final 12 games. Not a lot of ranked opponents. Ended up with 3 ranked victories, 2 of them against the same team. No team ranked higher than 21, but still a phenomenal year from North Carolina and a dominant win in their bowl game to finish with a great 13-1 record. Wisconsin, the Badgers finished with a 12-2 record. Playing some really good football. Only loss in the regular season coming against that Michigan State team, losing quite convincingly at home in that one. Made it to the Big Ten championship, ended up losing to Michigan. But were able to bounce back, getting an exciting bowl victory against Auburn. Great season from Wisconsin. Ohio State, great season as well, finishing number 8, a 10-3 record. Losing an early game there to Cal, then winning a bunch of games in a row. A couple of tough, close losses down the stretch here to Wisconsin and then to Michigan. But able to finish off the season with a victory in a bowl game against the defending national champion Alabama Crimson Tide. Great year from Ohio State. Alabama finishes number 9 with a 10-3 record. Coming off of the national title, they were hoping for a bit more. Ended up losing their 3rd game of the season to Arkansas and winning a bunch of games in a row. Huge showdown against Auburn, and this was an incredibly disappointing result against their rival, the Auburn Tigers, losing 30-3. rough way to end the regular season, and then not able to get things done in their bowl game against Ohio State. Alabama finishes 10-3. Texas Tech is going to finish number 10. A great year from Texas Tech. Didn't get off to the best start. They were 3-0, then 3-3, losing to Iowa State and West Virginia, Oklahoma. Then they bounced back some huge victories, taking down TCU, a very highly ranked Kansas State team, almost taking down Texas, and then beating Oklahoma State down the stretch, Baylor, finishing off things with a victory in their bowl game against Missouri. Really solid season from Texas Tech and everyone in the top 10. Now here's a look at the rest of the top 25 at the end of the year. Georgia drops down to 11. Oregon drops to 14. LSU bumps up a bit after their bowl. Utah enters the top 25 at the very end. Pittsburgh ends up number 25 in the nation with a 10-3 record. SMU just out of the top 25. Great year from SMU, but us were the Conference USA champions, so congratulations to all these teams. Congratulations to us. Great years. Now let's take a look at the final team stats here for us. Great season all around. Got passing. Asher Cox did throw a pass. We had a couple wide receivers take snaps as we were dealing with a lot of injuries at the quarterback position. Walter Hansen had a great year for us. He was just banged up a lot. 75 of 121, 1,027 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 INTs. Great year from him. Preston Schuler, our main guy, 173 for 313, 2,673 yards, 25 touchdowns. A little bit too many INTs, a little bit too banged up than we would have liked. But phenomenal work from him. Broke a school record for single game passing yards against Houston in the Conference USA Championship game. Jason Lyles stepping in big for us, doing what he needed to do. 54, 114, 903 yards, 7 touchdowns, 8 INTs, but certainly was a big part in some of our wins here that allowed us to have a shot at winning the Conference USA Championship game. So really appreciate his work. Baker Newvac threw a couple passes as well. Brant Sampson even threw one. Now rushing-wise, Cecil Tate led with 222 attempts, 872 yards, 3.9 average, 8 touchdowns. Leading rusher for us. Jabril Stevens, second guy, 55 attempts, 210 yards, and a touchdown. Thurl Bennett, 37 attempts, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. Preston Schuler ended up with 52 attempts, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Over here, Nathan Dunn had a couple touchdowns as well, just 12 attempts, mainly a short yardage guy. Easton Lyles had a couple runs as well. Not getting sacked. Walter Hansen losing yards with sacks. Receiving wise, phenomenal year from Ray Sullivan and a lot of guys. 70 catches for Sullivan, 1,382 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Incredible year from him. Breaking the single season school receiving record for yards in a year. DeAndre Collins, great work from him as well. 67 catches, 1,051 yards, 8 touchdowns. Phenomenal from him. Cedric Ellis had 11 touchdown receptions, 57 catches overall. Putty Liston, 32 catches, 28 for Branch Sampson, 25 for Caleb Petty, 11 for Thurl Bennett. Caleb Petty had 6 touchdowns, Putty Liston had 4. Great work. Used to take 5 catches. Sean Hale had 3, able to get a touchdown in the bowl game. Great work all around here from the receiving corps. The blocking stats. Defensively, Taekwon Hobbs. Look at the heart and soul of our defense. 106 tackles. Phenomenal work from him. Had a pick 6 as well. And a fumble return for a touchdown. Jordan Mills, great work from him. 78 tackles. Delaney Herman, also considered the heart and soul at the linebacker position for us here. 73 tackles, some really big plays. Forcing a couple fumbles in big spots. McPherson 71 tackles, Andre Crawford 64. He had a touchdown as well. Gibson 64. Great work all around here, guys. And kicking was Charles Massey. Just 8 field goal attempts, made them all. Great work there from the senior kicker, doing his job to perfection. 51 of 51 on extra points. Phenomenal work from him. Very big part. Hit a game winner in this one this season. Great work here from Charles Massey. Incredibly reliable. Jacob Novak, 42 punt attempts. Solid puncher for us as well. Great work special teams wise. Luke Frazier did most of the kick returns for us here. Cedric Ellis did a few as well. DeAndre Collins had a punt return for a touchdown, 25 total punt returns. King Scales had a couple as well. So that is a look at the final team stats. That is a look at everything for this 2012 season. Obviously a season that will go down in history for Memphis football and for Conference USA overall. One of the greatest seasons in both histories. So phenomenal work. Great job here. Let's go Memphis.